Okay, are you ready for our Sizzlin summer reads? Well, I've got my top 5 pick to make your summer a really great one. Okay, this book is just out. This is out in June. This is Noah Hawley's Before the Fall. This is on the independent booksellers top list. This is an incredible thriller, and it is all about a private jet that's about ready to take off. It has a family on it. There are 11 people on board, including 2 pilots, a bodyguard, and then the family. And the father of the family is a multi-millionaire media mogul. His wife, their 2 young children, also a Wall Street investor, and his wife, and then an artist who's been invited on the trip. And he is a recovering alcoholic, has lost his mojo when it comes to his art, but he is on the trip at the invitation of the mogul's wife. The plane goes down off the coast of Martha's Vineyard. The only 2 survivors are the artist and the 4-year-old son of the media mogul. And he is now considered a hero. He's rescued the boy from the water, but you start to realize that things aren't what they seem. There were no Mayday calls when this plane went down, and then you go into the history of all the people who died on this plane crash. It's a great unraveling thriller with a mystery and everything. It is fantastic. It is a page turner that you won't stop turning the pages until you turn that last one. Another great summer read, and this one is in paperback. This is Nina George's The Little Paris Bookshop. This is a great book for those if you love a good love story, but the perfect thing about this is that it is about a bookseller. So hey, I love this book very much. This is about Monsieur Perdu. He is a brilliant bookseller, and in his bookshop, which is on a barge in the River Seine in Paris, is that he knows how to find the perfect book for those whose hearts are broken. He can always find the perfect read in order to help heal those broken hearts. But the thing about Monsieur Perdu is that his heart is broken too, and he really needs to find that love again. And so part of the book is this great journey he takes on a river trip on the River Seine, and the people that he meets and how he finds love again for himself. Okay, one of my favorite authors writing today, and this is his 3rd novel, is Peter Guy, and his new book is called The Wintering. Peter writes all about Minnesota in his novels, but he is an exquisite writer. His prose is absolutely beautiful, and a lot of his stories talk about family relationships, especially his fathers and son. And this one is no different. This takes place up in the Minnesota boundary waters, as far north as you can get in Minnesota, and it goes over a 60-year period of a family. So you really get to know the problems within this family over this 60-year period. But it's all about a man, about when he's on his deathbed or he's dying, he decides to take off without his family's notification to go back into the wilderness in northern Minnesota. And he had done the same thing without notice 30 years prior, but he had taken his 18-year-old son, Gustav, along with him, and how they survived the winter in the boundary waters in northern Minnesota. And now he is gone again. So this is all told from his son's perspective and what happens to a family, but the relationship between father and son and surviving the winter in the wilderness. One of my favorite authors and storytellers of all time is Neil Gaiman. He writes for kids from kindergarten through adults. He was our Naperville Reads author a number of years ago and was here for almost a week talking from kids from kindergarten, elementary, middle school, high school, the college, and then adults about all of his books that he writes. But his new book, which is unusual, this is a collection of his essays and thoughts. They're all nonfiction, which is unusual for Neil, but he says so many wonderful things, from the reason why reading is so important, even to the reason for the title of the book, The View from the Cheap Seats, his experience at the 2010 Academy Awards when his movie Coraline, based on his book, was up for an Academy Award. He has such an interesting viewpoint about so many things about life, but it will make you think more deeply. It will give you solace. It will make you feel better about so much about what is happening in our world, but only told in a way that Neil Gaiman can write. Just great little essays that you will just savor over every word. And then another really fun read for the summer, and this one everybody will love too, because this book will make you laugh and you will cry and it will make you hope. And it's called The Curious Charms of Arthur Pepper. And the author is an English author named Phaedra Patrick. It's just the sweetest book, but it's all about Arthur Pepper. He's 69 years old. He wakes up every day at 7:30 a.m. He makes his tea. And he does everything like he always did when his wife was still alive. But his wife now, she passed away 1 year earlier, and he misses her tremendously. This was the type of couple that all they did was things with each other. Arthur didn't have much of a life outside of his marriage, and he misses her dreadfully. So he decides it's now a year. I need to go through my wife's things and give them away. But what he finds inside of his shoe in a beautiful little box is a charm bracelet with 8 charms on it. He never knew she had this. And there's an exquisite charm with an elephant and an emerald in it. So he goes, what is this bracelet? She never told me about this. She never showed it to me. And then he begins to unravel the secret of the charm bracelet. And it's all about his wife's life before they met. But what this journey is, it takes him out of his comfort zone, it takes him out of his village, it takes him out into the wider world to get to know people better, to get to know his children better, to get to know life better, but also to heal and to maybe find love again. It's a beautiful book, and the journey will make you root for Arthur all the way. So those are 5 of sizzling hot summer reads that you know you will find something you will absolutely love. So grab one of these books, have a great summer, kick back, go to the beach, the Centennial Beach, go to any beach, go in your backyard, go on your porch, and have a summer that takes you away.